I have an update on the case I posted about last week from Port Richey, Florida, showing the cops making a SWAT team style entry into this lady's house. Well, I talked to her, I got some background info. I also got copies of the alleged search warrant that they had and what it says. If you hadn't seen the footage, take a look at this.
Just want to replay this video for everybody so they don't forget that the city of Port Richey broke into my property, broke my door, entered with guns drawn over a little discrepancy. They thought that an inspection warrant for a building permit was a search warrant. And I guess if I was in there, I'd be dead and my dogs would probably be dead too. So now I'm afraid to ever go back in my property again.
Police Department, search warrant for inside, make presence known. Police Department, search warrant. Hallway. Police Department. Couch. Police Department.
The upstairs.
Beautiful. Police Department. What about upstairs? Police Department. That doesn't matter.
So I got a chance to talk to her. Here are some excerpts of our phone conversation where she'll fill you in on a few of the details.
Yeah, it started in October. I received an email. I wasn't even in town, and this code enforcement officer had stuck a notice on my door, and one of my family members gave me the notice, and that code enforcement officer, that's where it all began. So he told me, I asked him who filed a complaint against me because he made this accusation of building without a permit. And what strikes me as very bizarre was he told me nobody filed a complaint or a report, that he found it himself on Zillow. So based off of a picture on Zillow, he told me he's lived there his whole life, so he knows that I did work on the interior.
How did you first find out that they had actually entered your house?
I received a notice that my Arlo cameras were going off, that there was, normally it'll go off because a car goes by, so I didn't really look at it until it was like repetitively going off.
And so you weren't home at the time?
No.
Did they give you any advance notice that they intended to come to your house or actually enter your house?
No. So I never received any advance notice from any of them that they were going to enter. But no, they hadn't given me any notice, no mailings, no nothing. There was a conversation that I had with a police department officer who apparently was the supervisor of code enforcement. He had shown up to my property and I had him on camera, like looking in my windows and circling around the property, and he was running all the vehicles in my driveway. And I was like, what's going on? Like, who are you? Why are you at my property? And that's when he told me, just bluntly said, we can do this the hard way or we can do this the easy way, but either way, I'm coming in. And he just said again, we can do this the hard way or the easy way. I have my ways of getting it. Just from the body camera footage, I can tell you that they expected my dogs to be there because they kept saying multiple times, the code enforcement officer said, yeah, there's two big dogs that are here all the time that might be in there. And that's when they said on body camera footage to go in, the police department said to the police officer to go in low and ready.
All right, so you posted more footage of them inside?
Oh yeah, I think
Okay.
I have one of them going like through, looking through my stuff. At one point they were in my refrigerator. They like opened up bags of jewelry that I had, that it was just like, remnants of jewelry that I got from the baggage claim place. Like, it's just a bag, a brown bag, and they had opened it up and he's like, here's her jewelry. Going through personal cards that I had on the table, like bizarre stuff.
Okay, so they're clearly not just looking to see if there is construction work that was performed without a permit.
I don't even think that they took a picture of any plumbing or electrical.
Now, you sent me pictures of these text messages where these people are texting themselves or texting each other, photos of a sign that you had put in front of your house that was critical of them, and also a flag, right?
Yeah.
Did that occur before they searched your house?
Yes.
So do you believe that they searched your house in retaliation for this flag and the sign that you put out?
Yes. And the sign was put up January 22nd. So it was before, which I did get, they gave me a code violation for that free speech sign as well, even though I was in compliance for the size, everything. Like, they have a specific size that you have to have for a free speech sign. And they gave me a violation for that and claimed that it was construction debris.
All right. So the outrageous thing here really is that, yeah, obviously cops can get a search warrant. They can enter your house. But here, I've got a copy of the document they actually had, and here it is. It is an inspection warrant. So if you review this inspection warrant that the homeowner sent me, signed by a county court judge on March 15th, 2022, there are no specifics in it. It's basically a copy and paste job. It's like a form, like they do this all the time, except for at the very top, it has the property address and a parcel identification number. So one of the things that the courts are very, very strict about is that, well, probable cause is the standard for a warrant. So there has to be probable cause for a search warrant to issue in the first place. The key to probable cause is that there have to be particularized facts. It has to be particular to the individual. That's the whole reason we fought the Revolutionary War, is we don't allow general warrants. We don't allow the police to just have this form like, all right, the judge will sign the form and they get to go search the house. No, it has to be based on an affidavit laying out the particular allegations that would establish probable cause for a judge to sign. So this thing is a complete form. I'll post this up at the website, thecivilrightslawyer.com. So I asked the homeowner, is that it? Now, what about the actual affidavit that underlied this thing? So she sent that to me as well. Here it is. So there's an affidavit in support of inspection warrant. But if you look at that, it's really appears to be a copy and paste job as well. It really has no specifics. So it says, I conducted an inspection of the premises and reviewed publicly available information, perhaps Zillow. And he says that interior renovations appear to have been made to the property without permits. Well, so this is what they used to get the search warrant or inspection warrant. So were they already inside the property? Or was this something that was done after the fact, which is why he had already inspected the inside? Doesn't list any particulars. It just says the foregoing conditions violate provisions of the City of Newport Richey Code of Ordinances. And it says the existence of the suspected violations cannot be fully determined unless they're granted access to the interior of the structure. So there are no specific allegations about there's some emergency, there's a busted water line or electrical problem. There's no safety concerns mentioned. And if you looked at the inspection warrant, it actually says that it has to take place during a time in which the homeowner is there. But that's not what happened here. This took place when the homeowner was not there at all. So it doesn't even appear under Florida law that this was a valid execution of this so-called inspection warrant. You have potential First Amendment retaliation here. So the homeowner sent me copies of text messages that she had obtained from these City of Newport Richey employees, texting back and forth pictures of protected free speech that the homeowner was engaging in, including a sign that was critical of the city and also a flag that she had put on the house that was critical of the city. So clearly you have a First Amendment right to criticize your government officials. And it appears really from the timing here and from the text messages themselves that they were retaliating against her for engaging in this official criticism of their conduct. Really, something stinks in Newport Richey, Florida. And that's not at all uncommon in Florida. My experience growing up there is government has had plenty of money to fester and just become a cancer on the local community. So that is what appears to be happening in Pasco County, Florida. So I appreciate you watching, and make sure you subscribe, and here and also at the website, thecivilrightslawyer.com, for updates. And feel free to reach out if you're interested in helping this lady or have more information.